I like this part, man. This is my best part. And there was this person who got in touch and says, there's no talk shop without a hello. So there we have it, man. No, the program is Talk Shop, where we tell the truth and let the chips fall where they may. Wherever the chips may fall, with all respects, let them fall. And the great thing that I love about our slogan, this particular one, and we always say it, folks, truth, crash to earth, shall rise again. You know, truth, crash to earth, shall rise again. But today on Talk Shop, you know we're having this election coming soon. We are gathering momentum for the election, and I'm sure I'll be doing many election series. But today's topic is 2024, when we go for the election. Why need this year never man? Say, yeah, bravo, me akano. Mofa year no mame. I mean Chicano, Mofa year no mame. Folks, why need this year never man? That's what we're going to be talking about when we come back from the commercial break. Stick around. It's Talk Shop, where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. And when we come back, why need this year never man? We'll be right back.
Is it the luxurious rooms? Or the serene green surroundings? Is it the tempting swimming pool? Or the classy conference room? Or the cute gift shop? Maybe it's our chef's array of cooking delights. Whichever way, it's all about Cactus Creek, a most respected hotel. 055 039 5007.
Hi, my name is Angela Metal, a massage therapist at Cactus Creek. My job is simply to pamper you with the 3 R's, to relax you, to revitalize you, and to rejuvenate you. Come and let me pamper you.
055 039 5007.
Thank you folks, we're back. Now I'm only fighting for the next maybe 30 minutes. I don't want to waste too much of your time. But we have an election coming. And my question, as I began with, is why this year no be mano? Very, very important, folks. Whoever is taking the steer, who's ever taking the steer 2024, for one, I think must be somebody who can unify this nation. You know why I'm saying this? This nation has become so divided. This nation has become so divided. It's so, there's so much conflict. There's so much misunderstanding. And let me say this, folks. Let me say this. Whoever wants to assume the power of a president should be a unifier. If we don't unify this nation, let me tell you something, then we are programming ourselves for self-destruction. If we don't unify Ghana, if we don't get that leader who can bring all of us Ghanaians together as one people, then I'm telling you, we are heading for self-destruction. You know, if you ask me today, what is the real state of the nation? I'll tell you today that the real state of the nation is like a ship without a rudder, you know. It's traveling without precise direction. And that is very, very dangerous. We need to bring this station back on track and follow a specific track that will lead us. We don't have that now. I'm sorry. We don't. We want to bring Ghana back to where it should be. And I'm telling you, everybody, folks, this next election coming is our last chance to make a difference. I kid you not, all. Let me use my glasses in for a quick second. So election, this is our last LAST chance that we have as a nation to put ourselves back together. You know, there's something called the tipping point. You know, you can go, then you get to a point where it is called the tipping point. And at the tipping point, it means you are at the point where you're about to tip. The question is, where are you going to tip? Because point in a word, you know, you can either tip into chaos or tip into prosperity. That's the thing about it all. If you look at the course of our trajectory, we are getting to the tipping point. And I'm telling you, by 2024, we are going to be at that tipping point. And at that tipping point, where are we going to tip? We can tip into prosperity, hard work, and rebuilding the nation, or we can tip into chaos. Mark my words and write in the wall if you want. Mimi, prophet. I am not prophesying. I am only giving you a prediction from common sense that by 2024, Ghana is going to be at the tipping point. The tipping point doesn't mean that we have gone so high that we have reached the tipping point. You know, the tipping point simply means that as a nation, we have reached a point where we need to make a decision. And that decision, folks, that decision is going to tip us either into prosperity or either into chaos. And different tipping points, you know. So you can believe me if you want or not. You can accept this if you want or not. And you must. All I'm telling you is that 2024 election, a tipping point. You know what my great friend Chinua Achebe said in this great book, Things Fall Apart? I like the way he started. There was a little poem there. He said, turning and turning in the widening gyre. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Minkabu. Turning and turning in the widening gyre. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. I am sorry to say that that is the true state of the nation, folks. Things are falling apart. And the center cannot hold. Or may I say, I don't even know where the center is. Things are falling apart, my dear friends. Education is in turmoil. The judiciary is in turmoil. The press freedom is in turmoil. And I can go on and on and on. Everything is not on the right trajectory. So things are falling apart. And the center is not holding. That is why I started by saying, when it is Because whoever takes the steer, 2024, Charlie, a Juma Damosono, it's not easy. You know, now this is the election mode, and this is the mode for promising. Great. You can promise all you want, but I'm saying I'm still waiting for all the candidates that are running for office. I want one candidate to be truthful enough to tell us, this is the state of the nation. This is what I'm going to inherit. Shall I'm campaigning for power? I want to be the president of this country. Okay? This is the true state of the nation. If I become president, this is what I am going to inherit. Say, this is where the debt level is, where the educational level is, this is where the inflation is. List what you're going to inherit. And be truthful about the difficulty that you're going to inherit. Let me tell you a quick joke before I continue. Very quick joke. You see, two military men were having a discussion. But sure, this is a joke. I don't want any headlines like, hey, KSM say there's going to be a coup. And yes, and make a cry. It's a joke. So they said two military guys were having a discussion. And one guy said, Charlie, I see you cool. You know, Ghana I like power everywhere. Like, sometime back in the 70s, like, hey, cool. And the other one said, oh, me and you home. Cool. What about them? Sir, in seeing who I jam my 100% inheritance. Was it, we are cool. This mess that is waiting for us to inherit. Who wants to inherit it? Oh, my dear. This is just a joke. KSM supposed to cool. But I'm telling you something. It looks funny. But the thing is this country is so messed up that even having a coup is not attractive because you know what you're going to inherit. And what you have to inherit, you know. Well, you say, Charlie, this is not something we rush into, you know. So this is just a joke. But the truth of the matter is that there are several people running for president who want to inherit this mess. That's why I'm saying, you know, even before all the manifestos, even before you tell us all the great things that you're going to do for Ghana, even before you start mentioning the amazing changes that you want to do for this country, I beg you, please tell us, what country are you inheriting? You know why I'm saying that? Because the last thing we want to hear is that we have voted for so and so for president, and it comes and he says, oh, I have to do this and that and that. I have to put my promises on hold. Why? Because that means I say. You know, I just realized we had so much of work to do in this area that I need time. I didn't know it when I was promising. But now that I'm in power and I know what is at stake, the Pastor, give me some time to work around a few things. Please, let's not get to that. All the promises you are making, some Obama, you know, I'm happy, you know. And this is going especially to my good friend, Dr. Baumia. You know, what's it, and there's one thing he said. I said, Mijistiana, na minchikano, Nianko Bebia, SSA Yako. Michikano. That's a very loaded statement. Because what he's admitting is that his boss, Nanado, has not taken us where we want to go. But because he was advised, he didn't have the steer. And to give him the steer now, and you will see where we are supposed to go, he will take us there. I'm great if there's anybody who's going to promise that he's going to take us where we're going to go to. But the implication here, especially coming from Dr. Obama, is it's an admission. So we messed up. It is. We have messed up. But it's okay. Now you give me the steer, and I will take you where we are supposed to go. It's a very deeply loaded statement. So let me put his case aside. Folks, we are in bad shape. We as a nation, we have reached a point where I think that everybody, or most of us, let me be frank enough to adjust it and say, not everybody, but most of us have become hypocrites. We are all living as if there's no problem. And then in between ourselves, we admit what problems we are facing. You know, but outside of that, they have to be okay. My good friend, I can't even call her my sister, Gifty Afenyidati. Did you hear the speech she made the last time, Women's Aglow? She knows that there's hardship. She says she knows that we're going through intermittent doom, so she knows that prices are rising, she knows inflation, but something to the effect that but by the grace of God, we are very okay as a country. Because to date, people are still having weddings, people are having outdoorings, we're having parties, and these all are indications that we are still able to keep up with these things. So I guess in summary, just say never that bad, because still I hear outdoorings. My friends, please, there is no time in the history of Ghana that we stop doing outdoorings. Even the 80s, when Rolling Stones by, okay, Rolling Stones, it's so come down, say a Rolling Stones. Saturn Crane outdooring. Even those times we were having weddings. You know? So please, let's be realistic with ourselves and not think that everything is okay so long as a few people are having outdoorings and weddings. I'm sorry. It is part of our thinking, which I call we think so mediocre. And when you think mediocre, you accept the lowest common denominator. It is so long as I say, I'm all for weddings, just say, okay. Please. That is not true. Weddings and things will always go on, but never ever in your life use that as an indicator to judge the economic growth of a country. Even in the days of COVID, trust me, in the days of COVID where everything was like at a standstill there, but even in the days of COVID, I'm telling you, I know I have friends who made their best money in the era of COVID. And Bronica said that we have something that is called the rule, and then we have something that is called the exception. And she said, this is the rule. The rule is that this is where this is going. But we have a few exceptions to the rule. And the COVID, the rule was that the country was suffering, and everything was bad. And the COVID, you all remember COVID areas, COVID times. So things were bad. That was the rule of COVID. But the exception was that there were few companies that were manufacturing masks, disinfectants, and things like that, who at that time made so much money. But you don't base your argument on the fact, say, but few companies have made so much money, so COVID was good. No. The rule was that everybody was suffering. The rule was that things were bad. But the exception was that those who were marketing things that will help in the prevention of certain things at that time made money. And please, let's not confuse the rule with the exception. The rule is that this is it. The exception is that this is it. But because you see the exception, don't confuse the exception to be the rule. Okay? So now that we're there, Charlie folks, what I'm saying is this. As we go into 2024, we need to elect a unifier. Somebody who can bring the whole nation back together. I'm very, 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 very sorry to say this, but under the last 8 years, it has been so polarized. My dear brother Leonardo, you seem sometimes to think that you are the president of MPP followers. No, I'm sorry. You are the president of Ghana. And Bawumia, if you say you want to take over Nanado and continue, learn this from day one. You are not running to be the president of MPP supporters. You're running to be the president of Ghana. Let's think that to begin with. That's why I keep saying that the next leader we're going to have in this country needs to be a unifier. All this division about and MPP for and NDC for and one, like there's only two parties in Ghana, that should end. We need somebody who will have the ability to unify all that and move on. Because you do tipping points, you know. And what we need now is a unified country moving forward, not a partisan president. No partisan president can move this country forward. No partisan president, can move this country forward. So please, whoever is going to take over the reins of government in 2024, please, you can come on the Alan ticket, the MPP ticket, the NDC ticket, the Cheddar ticket, whatever ticket you're coming from. Your first business, trust me, is to unify this divided country. And stop talking as if you are president of only the party members that voted for you. And here I'm sorry to say that Nanado didn't set the right examples. You know, his utterances suggested that it's a partisan thing. It is no longer a partisan thing. And Ghana is at a tipping point. And if we want to go into the future, we cannot go into the future with any partisan thing. We have to go into the future united and rallying around a leader who is focused on bringing us together. None of this partisan crap can go forward with us. I'm telling you this, folks, and I mean it. We are at the tipping point. Beyond 2024, if God forbid, we go and choose a leader beyond 2024 who is all about my party and my party and my party and my party. Trust me. You know when I said in the beginning that we are programming ourselves to self-destruct, that is what we're going to see. Self-destruction. You know? This equalization in politics must stop. You know, sometimes people say, oh, yeah, NDC, MPP, the truth is that there are clear differences between the two of them. But the other truth is that they all do the same things on certain levels. Equalization. Do you remember somebody actually sat on TV, an MPP guy sat on TV and said that no matter how bad the inflation is, no matter how worse the inflation is, NDC can be different. It's okay that we are exchanging $1 for 60 cedis. Are you okay? NDC buy and can buy 25 cedis. How do we think like that? How can we move a nation like that with that kind of mediocrity mentality? This is mediocrity at its highest. And no nation can move up when the people who are at the helm of affairs SNK on the lowest common denominator. I've said this thing long ago. Over 20 years I've been saying this, that mediocrity is the bane of our suffering today. Folks, we need to rise past this mediocrity. Let me tell you something before I end today. Today, some of the things we hear now are that, oh, but that things are okay, Mom. And Kenya COVID and Ukraine and Ghana is heaven. Don't you hear that a lot? People are speaking and say, oh, but things are not bad. Ghanaians, why are you complaining? We were doing very, very, very well. We were on the ball. The only things that disturbed us were COVID and the Ukraine war. Kenya COVID near Ukraine, but this time, Ghana heaven. Let me say to you guys, that argument is the most bull crap I've ever heard in my life. Bull crap. Look, in 2024, let me tell you the leader that I want. We want a leader. Look at these two English words and how different they are. Munti with you. This is why I'm ending on. They are both English words, but they're very, very different. One is in spite of. One is in spite of. Put that in your head. The second one is because of. Put that in your head. So we're talking about in spite of and because of. And I'm here to tell you today, Charlie, African leaders, we are just so happy with the expression because of. So right now, if you talk about economy and inflation and whatever problem you want to talk about it, our leaders come and say, oh, by you people, you don't understand. It is because of Ukraine. It is because of COVID. It is because of this. Mama, allow us. We have done very, 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 very well. Praise us. The only thing that has worried us is because of COVID. It's because of Ukraine. Now I'm saying I want a leadership that will change this fundamental basis of because of to in spite of. Let me tell you the difference. I want leaders who are so intelligent, leaders who are so proactive that they know all the comings and goings in this world, but they are able to set up structures in their country so that whether there's COVID or whether there's Ukraine, we are still surviving and surviving with prosperity in spite of. In spite of COVID, we are okay because we put in good buffers to protect us. So in spite of COVID, we are okay. Yeah, maybe it was rough, a little rough here and there, but in spite of it, we are still okay. In spite of Ukraine, yeah, okay. There's this Ukraine, no more say. But because of the measures that we have put in place, because of the direction that we have chosen, in spite of that, we are still okay. You African leaders, you are so happy with because of. It's because of COVID. It's because of Ukraine. Please go to hell with because of. We don't invite you or vote for you to come to power and tell us things you can't do because of. Folks, we are voting for you to come so that you can face the challenges, so that you can tell us that in spite of this and this and that, we are still moving. So this is what I want to say. Whoever wants to assume the leadership in 2024 must have this focus. Must put Ghana in a position so that we can say in spite of. And not this because of explanation that we give every day. Having said that, let me end with a little joke. Somebody wrote to me and said, Abawi KSM, shut up. You talk now. We know who you are going to vote for. But you can't tell us who you're going to vote for. I say, But that's very, very funny. You know who I'm going to vote for, but I can't tell you who I'm going to vote for. Let me tell you the reason I won't tell you to vote for this or vote for that. I want you to use your gumptions. A part your dream. Like I'm doing now, I'm telling you everything that we're looking for. Somebody who can lead us and take us through turmoil in spite of. Somebody who can unify this country. Somebody who can take us on a different trajectory. I've told you everything. Miami Pato. Now you use your common sense and your thinking and your deliberation and says, I'm Paul, based on what KSM is saying there, I think this is the person or that is the person or whatever, that decision should come from you. So please don't write to me and tell me, KSM, why can't but you don't tell us who to vote for. Should I tell you who to vote for? Do you think? Can you think? I'm very, very, very sure, and I kid you not, we are still like 5 months away from the election. We are still watching people and everything. I'm very, very, very sure that maybe within a week or two to the election, I will tell you who I endorse. And who I endorse, I'm not telling you to go and vote for who I endorse, but I'm telling you that personally, this is the person I think can help us go to where we want to go. That one I will tell you. But I'm not endorsing anybody yet, so I won't say anything yet. But when it gets to the time, I will let you know. But the thing I want to know, okay. But all the thing I'm saying that, Chale, you go and vote for whoever you want to. We all know what we are going through. And I've told you all of this. You pick the person you think in your mind fits what you want, then vote for them, okay. I don't want you to go and vote for anybody here and that person comes to mess up and say, KSM go to Mano. Or for that matter, that person comes and does great. But that should be your decision, folks. But let me end today's talk shop and thank you all for thinking. All I'm saying is that all the candidates should come us and tell us what are they going to inherit. The true state of the nation. And so that when you inherit the mess that we are in, you can tell us, but we told you that this was not there and this was not that and this was, and so we have to do this. But don't tell me things you're going to do without telling me that you understand where we are today. And that's my challenge now. What is the true state of the nation? Bawumia himself, who is the vice president, the Mofa siya no mami. I'm going to drive you to where we are supposed to be going, which means we are going in the wrong direction. Where is the wrong direction? Where are we now? Folks, I'm through for Talk Shop for today. Next week when I come back, the discussion will continue. But until then, please remember that whatever you do, truth crushed to earth shall rise again.